Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been requested to do an updated build video for Athena, and let's get right into it, starting with her abilities and how they matter into building Athena for any newer players out there. Now, there's not too much to talk about how her abilities matter into building for Athena, except a couple things. Athena is, she's most known for her taunt, her 2, and that is a very, very great CC to have on a low cooldown because you can set up so many, just Krakens, Medusa ultimates, just plays in general, because it lasts up to 2 seconds at max rank. But you see it has an 18-second cooldown, so it's fairly long, so you typically see some type of cooldown reduction items, rather. If it's just a cooldown boost, that's fine, or you can maybe pick up Breastplate of Valor later on, or Spirit Robe, or the Winged Blade. Some other type of cooldown reduction item is not too uncommon to pick up for Athena, as well as her ultimate. Now in this patch, it's only 90 seconds, but the next patch supposedly is going to be nerfed in the Shadow of Olympus patch, so it's going to have a scaling factor to it. I think it starts at like 110 seconds, and then it works its way down to 90 seconds, so having an ultimate where you can go anywhere across the map is really great. So again, you mostly see some type of cooldown reduction item for your Athena builds. Now with her passive, you can get a little fancy with this. If you want to build into like a mage build or a bruiser build, you can pick up an item called Polynomicon, and it works really well with her passive, and you can get that reach to do quite a bit of damage. Everything else, moderate cooldowns, so like I said, just cooldown reduction is the only thing that really matters. Now let's go into actually building Athena. Now let's start with Conquest. As always, Conquest, you always gonna have some type of starter item, maybe in some other game modes, maybe like Siege or something like that, but for the most part, it's just Conquest. And for a starter item, it's very typical to go to the Watcher's Gift. It gives you HP, MP5, and then the passive is really, really great for just sustaining your gold income, health, mana, things like that. So it's a really great starter item to go into. Now the Market Vanguard is a lot less common, but this is pretty good for like if you're going to get to a duo lane that has a lot of damage over time effects, or if you just want to be really, really aggressive early on, and that extra protection is going to help you a ton, especially when you start taking aggro from minions and things like that. So that's pretty much those two starter items. Now for Conquest, after you pick up your starter item, then you just go into boots and then the rest of your build. Nothing really too fancy like mages in the middle lane. So let's go into the boots. Like I said before, I typically always go with the Shoes of Focus. If you have like a really good pre-made team and you want to take it really serious, you can probably get pretty good use out of the Traveler's Shoes because of the faster rotations. The HP5 is huge for out of combat to heal yourself back up. And again, the gold income is really, really great to help sustain. Since supports are typically behind in golden XP, so that's really great to pick up. Reinforced Shoes, I personally picked this up for just kind of situational times, like if the enemy team has like tons of CC and it's really hard to like dash in there and get any plays off. So this can help mitigate some of that crowd control and just kind of reduce the times on that. And lovely warning, always loves to pop up. So let's go with the Shoes of Focus. Now, as you see here on the recommended tab, these are definitely the core items. It's very traditional to go into the Sovereignty and then the Hallway to Amulet. This is best ideal if you're going against a well-balanced team. However, if things change up where the enemy team has like more mages than physical, then that's when you probably want to go straight into the Hardward. Or if it's mostly physicals than magicals, then you just go into Sovereignty. However, for the most time, for most the situations, you typically pick up these two items. But just keep in mind, like building in Smite is just almost always situational. There's no exact like cookie cutter build you can always apply to every situation, so it's kind of keep that in mind. After you get these couple core items, then it just kind of goes into more situational building. That's how most supports kind of go into. I personally like to go into the Breastplate of Valor and then the Void Stone, or the Void Stone into Breastplate of Valor. It kind of depends on what you need more, if you need more physical or more magical. But if you do plan to get on, Breastplate of Valor, you probably want to get it somewhat early on, so that way you can get the most use out of cooldown reduction, especially with the taunts. Let's just go with the Breastplate of Valor. I like using Void Stone. It's not too popular in the meta right now, but I like using it just so I can boost my overall team's damage output, especially if we have some like bursty mages, things like that. So the aura can really be super effective. If not, you can go into other magical protection items, like in Assault, for instance. Assault, Stone of God is really great in Assault because of the HP5, MP5, things like that. Or if your team has healers, high health regeneration gods, Pestilence is always great to pick up. Borg is just great for just like HP builds, where you go into a lot of HP items, and then your last item is Ethereal Staff, and it turns like a huge portion of that HP into additional magical power, so you can be a little bit more of a bruiser. But let's just go into something like Voidstone. If at the same time, if the enemy team is very balanced, you can go into the Spear Robe. But the thing with the Spear Robe, again, the cooldown reduction, so be sure you're not already capped on your cooldown, which is 40%. Between the cooldown boots and breastplate, you're already capped out, so you can't get the full use out of Spear Robe. So this is good if you don't have Breastplate of Valor, obviously. So let's just go into Voidstone. This is one of my personal favorites. And then your last item, again, it always kind of varies. Towards like these last few item slots, this is when it gets a little bit towards the late game. So if you have enemy hunters or assassins, they're gonna be doing tons of damage with their basic attacks, like, you know, crits of like 700, something ridiculous. So to help kind of slow that down, or maybe reflect some damage back out of them, you can go into the Hydominian Lion, which is really great. This also works if the enemy team has like Soul and Hunters and Assassins, things like that, because Soul also does auto attack, so she's going to get some of that damage back reflected to her with the passive on Hydominian Lion. Or again, Midgardian Male is going to help with just slowing their attack speed and movement speed, because as soon as they hit you in this procs, they have like the little icicles coming out of them, and then that kind of like scares them to like, oh, okay, I should probably stop attacking them so I don't, you know, continue to be slowed and things like that. So it has a nice scare factor to it on top of its actual uses of the passive. So the last item, again, it always varies. Now, active wise, actives, you have a very good range of actives to pick from. As a support player, you can go into any of the Creeping Curses, Weakening, First Shutdown Healing, and then the Enfeebling, First Shutdown Attack Speed. So those are really good situational picks for that. So you can just kind of like dash in, pop the curse, slow everybody around you, and that way you can have a little bit easier time of, you know, just taunting your target, and they can't get it just can't get away from you. Now you can also go into the Heavenly Agility. It's just really useful for just obviously just speeding up your entire team. Everybody's immune to slows, increase healing. So again, just all situational. I like picking up the Shield of the Underworld if the enemy team has like a lot of in-handers. It's always great to see them panic when they start shooting you and you have this popped in them. The best feeling is if somebody dies because the Shield of the Underworld activates and they just kill themselves. Is the best thing in the world. Again, Salvation, always great for Assault, never forget to pick that up. Purification Beads, not too necessary because you are a Guardian. For the most part, you can take the punishments. Blink, it's okay, it's not too bad. You can close a huge amount of distance between your dash with your 1 and Blink. You can close the crazy amount of distance, especially if you just want to, like, the person has very low HP and just want to like finish them off, things like that. So again, just always varies on your playstyle, things like that. So that's going to wrap it up for the build video / guide, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.